right after the holidays, we get a lot of phone calls
Mm.
from, kids saying, "Hey, I was down visiting, mom and dad, and then I walked through the house and I noticed that I opened the
Mhm.
refrigerator and, the food was probably
Expired.
6 months expired, and I've
Yeah.
never seen that before, and bills were piling up on the kitchen table, and I asked my parents about it. They really couldn't answer well, and
Mhm.
so those are the clues that tip the
Mhm.
kids off that it might be time for somebody to help mom and dad.
And in a conversation that we were having offline, um, the benefits of having an aide. Somebody in our family, their wife was unfortunately she was diagnosed with a terminal cancer, and her husband thought it would be better for the children, to take care of their mom through that situation. And it turned out to be a pretty negative experience because children really can't fulfill the role of nurse as well as a nurse, and they're kind of seeing a lot of the ugly side of caring. And perhaps if they had had an aide, taking care of their mother, doing what nurses do, they would have been able to better enjoy those last days with or last months with their parent, not having to worry about taking care of this or taking care of that. What is your thoughts on something like that? Is it, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We see this a lot, and what we tell our clients and families is that let us come in and be the caregiver so that you can be the family. There's something called caregiver burnout that is so real. And what happens is that you'll have a family member that's caregiving that then over time becomes sick themselves from the burden of caregiving.
Mhm.
And so, what we tell families is let us come in and take that off of you so that you can have, especially when it's an end of life, issue, so that you can have that time together being the wife or being the adult child or and we'll come in and handle all the caregiving
And
side.
and we see, there's a lot of emotions tied to that with the
Mm-hmm.
family, right? The kids or the spouse could feel guilty. It's my
I was
job.
about to say that
Yeah,
guilt.
exactly. It's
Mm-hmm.
my role to do this. It's my responsibility. But then what we see time and time again is it can, result in resentfulness. And,
Mm-hmm.
even if it doesn't percolate to the top, it's in there. And, like Amy said, caregiver burnout happens.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with
Well,
the
nurse
spouse.
burnout happens, so certainly
Yes,
caregiver burnout
absolutely. Right.
happens.
I mean, so
Yes.
it's across the board. But yeah, especially the spouse, we'll see that we'll get a call
Mm-hmm.
occasionally. Sometimes they'll call early, sometimes they'll call late, and just
Mm-hmm.
and we'll have to go in, and the spouse is just at their wits end, and
Mhm.
we're like, all right, we can help with this. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we do definitely see that.
Yes, Scott, you again, you guys keep touching on things that I'm thinking about for later, but the resentment part, it is a very nuanced and complex array of emotions that you go through taking care of your parent. And I've seen it just when a lot of times in my opinion, when children are the caretakers, things don't get taken care of as expediently as they need because obviously things aren't recognized. You'll just see skin issues that are as bad as they can be, or you'll see maybe a new development occurred that just wasn't caught when it could have been caught, and you'll see people in the room with their loved ones, and it's a mixture of they feel so bad for their loved ones. They're also resentful. I mean, if you have your mom or dad going through Alzheimer's and they're spending their nights just trying to climb out of the bed for six,
Yeah,
7, 8 hours and
yeah,
clawing at you, and I mean it's tragic to watch. I've commented about this on another video. It you feel bad, you feel love for them, you also resent them for acting that way, not and it's not their fault, but there's just such a wide array of emotions that you're going through that aren't enjoying the last
yeah,
days or last
yeah.
weeks or
Yeah.
months of your loved one because you are taking on the responsibility of caretaker